Hello guys, my name is Aditya Sharma. I am a second year undergraduate student at IIT Kharagpur and I am a student member at Branding and Relations at IIT Kharagpur. As a part of Spotlight series, today we have with us our very own Mr. Aryansh Singh. Aryansh, almost everyone in KCP knows about you, but it would be great if you introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay, thank you so much for the introduction, Aditya. My name is Aryansh Singh and I'm a fourth year student of the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences. I'm a boarder of Patel Hall of Residence and it's an honor to be here today.
So let's start our series of questions, Aryansh. So my first question is, according to you, how can a person improve himself or herself after joining IIT Kharagpur? And what improvements have you made in your life after joining this IIT?
So, IIT Kharagpur is a journey in itself. So, I was always born and brought up in Delhi NCR. So, once I came to Kharagpur, it was a great transition for me. And I got to interact with a diverse background of people ranging from different backgrounds, different societies, different thought processes. And in the end, I believe that it shaped my perspective a lot. Now I can accustom myself better in highly alien environments. I can interact with different kinds of people, and that was a great learning experience for me.
That was great. I found this insightful too. So my second question is, the whole KCP Janta knows about KCP Launchpad. It is a single source for all the academics and non-academic staff. How did this idea come to your mind and how did you proceed in the making of KCP Launchpad?
Thank you for the question, Aditya. So basically, when I was in my second year, a lot of the first years who came into the college, like everybody was living in the online mode. Everybody was affected by the coronavirus pandemic. So one thing I witnessed was that when we were in our first year, we had a lot of interaction with our seniors. Like we just used to go to their rooms, or maybe they used to come to our wings and tell us that this is how stuff works. These are the societies you can join. These are the posters you can see on the walls. But that aspect was missing on a very large extent in the pandemic. So once we realized that this was a problem that every fresher of IIT Kharagpur was facing, I decided to brainstorm on it in my second year, and eventually in my third year I proceeded to launch the application. So I had a good team of people around me who were also motivated to work on the cause, and eventually we released the application and now it has more than 3,000 downloads.
So only Launchpad had helped me to get my CG in my first year. So that was I was also wanting for the same. Proceeding to our next question, can you give a brief idea about your work at Parliamentary Constituency Task Force and the transformation programs for Chief Minister's office?
Yeah, so this was a very interesting decision. So we do a lot of orthodox internships. So I also started with finance, statistics, and public policy internships. But afterwards, I realized that I wanted to do something challenging that maybe I wouldn't be able to do after college and would have some sort of new understanding into some unexplored terrains for me. So I learned about Feeding India. I reached out to the head of Feeding India, Mr. Vishal Kumar. I learned a lot under his guidance. I was the first summer intern in the summer of 2022. So eventually I learned a lot from him. I worked with the team. I got to know the nuances of the entire ecosystem. And eventually I was able to work with the office of the Honorable Chief Minister of Meghalaya, the office of the Honorable Cabinet Minister, Shri Anurag Thakur. And at the end of the day, I was there in a meeting where we had to co-create policies for around 7 lakh people. So it was a great experience for any 21-year-old, and I'm indebted for that experience.
So proceeding to our next question, you also worked as a research associate at Harvard Business School, which is a dream for many people, including me too. Can you describe your experience during this internship and how did you crack this?
Thank you for your kind words, Aditya. So basically, it's again a very interesting story that one of my friends was applying for internship and I was also applying. So I was looking into University of Warwick, University of British Columbia, somewhat lower ranked universities, about how I can get a research intern there. So my friend just came to me and said, if you are going for a research internship, why not aim for the moon? So he said, go start with MIT, Stanford, Harvard, and I started doing that. And I just sent a couple of around 7 mails to Harvard, and one professor found my research statement overlapping with what she was doing. And then I got into the project, and it was a great experience. I got to know about their research culture, how they think about approaching different problem statements, and overall it was a great experience.
I found this very much insightful. So proceeding to our next question, you also got a CDC internship as a summer associate at Boston Consulting Group. What preparations have you made for this, and what advice will you give to the juniors who are looking for an intern in consultancy domain?
Yeah, so this decision was an accumulation of everything I'd done over the past 3 years. So I realized that I shifted from finance to statistics to public policy to innovation sciences to strategy. Then I realized that my core interest lied in solving problems rather than working in a particular domain. So I realized after talking to a lot of seniors who are in the consulting sphere that consulting was a natural choice for me to pursue. After that, I got shortlisted in all the consulting firms that came onto campus, BCG, Bain, and LEK Consulting. And I made a decision that on the basis of my case prep, the guidance by my seniors, and the interview rounds that finally went through, that BCG would be an ideal place for me to work in the longer run. So I've also written a blog on the same. If you want, Aditya can add a link
Yeah.
below so that everybody can have a look.
So yeah, I will definitely add that link. Now let's move on to the next question. Currently, you are working as a student venture partner at Picus Capital. What is your aim behind joining this, and what tips will you give to the students interested in the field of entrepreneurship?
So this is a very exclusive program that I found out about last year. So ever since I got to know, I saw a guy from IIT Bombay being the student venture partner. So then I delved further deep into this and I got to know that only 5 institutes in India, only IIT Delhi, Bombay, and apart from that, IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, and Calcutta had this program running. So I just approached to the team at Picus Capital. I let them know that see the founders of HCL, Swiggy, Innovator, all these people are legendary people and these are from IIT Kharagpur. So why not install a branch at IIT Kharagpur as well, where I can connect with my alumni, I can talk to aspiring startup founders and learn more about the ecosystem. So the team also felt through. I had a couple of rounds of interview and eventually I became the student venture partner. So far it has been amazing. I've got to explore a lot of different industries, talk to founders from different. Someday I talk to some IIT Kanpur 1992 graduate. Someday I talk to some 2018 NMIMS graduate. So it's a very diverse experience and I absolutely love doing it.
Now let's move on the question which I wondered the most. How were you able to manage your academics while working on these internships and projects?
So this was a tricky question. So because I found a group of like-minded people who were interested in stuff beyond academics. Like apart from focusing on their academics, they were also exploring competitions and different internships and projects. So we just made it a routine that we'll let our mentors know that this is our examination timeline rather than hiding it from our mentors that oh no, we don't have any exams. I said that yes, we do have our exams at this point, and during the course of these 2 weeks, we wouldn't be able to give as much time. So we used to study day in, day out at that point of time, and that eventually led to a decent CG, which helped me back an internship. And obviously, that is something I would focus upon for everybody, or especially all my juniors at IIT Kharagpur, that your CG is going to be very important. So while doing these side projects and getting into different programs, you should always focus on your academics as well.
I think I should follow this routine too. So coming on the next question. You have attended various competitions including American Express Campus Super Bowl, EY Case Study, and the Hero Case Challenge. Can you please describe your overall experience in all these challenges?
So when I was in my first year, I used to see stories of my seniors going to London or some of my seniors going to some random competitions, winning prizes, the photographs with the big checks, and that was too inspiring to me. So I just started participating competitions right from my first year. I remember I did some case study at Springfest. That was initial my first case study, and I went on developing on the same. And even right now, keep doing competitions. I find out some opportunities on LinkedIn. Some of them are on Unstop. And at the end of the day, now that given I have the expertise of the last 4 years, I have started winning some of these competitions. I've got a phone from these. I've got some cash prizes, some intangible memories out of these competitions. So it's a great experience, and I would like to urge everybody of my juniors and friends who want to participate in competition, and I'll be more than happy to help.
That was great, Aryansh. Now the question which every KCPN wants to ask out to you. What are your suggestions to your juniors at IIT KCP?
So my suggestion to my juniors would be that find people who invest in your growth story. So this is a very deep concept that I realized over the course of interacting with more than thousands of people in IIT Kharagpur. So there were seniors who used to look out after me that have I got an internship or not? What am I doing in this particular summer? Is my CG suffering or not? Am I able to cope with the pressure of my societies, my other commitments, or the cell, or anything like that? So those people shaped too much of my KGP journey because they had been through the places that I was in. Because one thing that happens with batchmates is that we are in the same boat. So it might be possible that we don't comprehend that what are the challenges that we might face in the longer run. But I had great seniors who used to guide me, who were invested in my growth story. The day I got an internship, they also felt fulfilled that yes, the amount of effort and hard work they put into grooming me, mentoring me, also helped them feel happy in the longer run. So my advice to everybody of my juniors would be that find people who invest in your growth story. There would always be meaningful people who would be more than happy to help you out in the longer run, and that just changes everything.
That was really nice to you. Alright, with this we conclude today's interview. Thank you so much, Aryansh, for your valuable time.
Thank you so much, Aditya. It was great talking to you.